going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by the last Maxi Hughes, joins me in Leeds, mate. It's good to see you. How you been?
Well, good, mate, yeah. Chipping away.
Same old, same old. Actually, I say same old, same old. Still flying. Let's talk about last time out. I only got a couple of minutes with you after the fight. Shoved to main event, put in the performance of your life, come away with the best win of your career. Yeah, mate, what a night.
Yeah, it was good. It was frustrating, and you know, as fighting Kid Galahad is a quality operator, and you know he makes it very tough for you in there. But again, as the underdog, we come out on top, and you know we're looking. That's why we're here today to find out what's next. Like you know, we recently tried the Garcia again, third time, but you know it wasn't meant to be again.
Well, we're going to talk about what's next in a second. It's funny you should mention how, obviously, Galahad's kind of an awkward person to fight. Everyone who's fought him, win or loss, would say the same thing. Are you one of them fighters who kind of a win feels better when you've been in perhaps a war or a massive tear-up? You come out, you've got a big eye, there's blood everywhere. You kind of feel like, because I know Josh is one of them fighters, to feel like he's won, he needs to have been in a war. Are you one of them fighters, or can you still walk away from a performance where you perhaps box better and still be very happy?
Yeah, and the main thing is, as long as I win, I don't really mind at all. Excuse me, but you know, I did have a decent, you know, you can still see it, a decent cut from the headbutt that he gave me. But yeah, as long as I win, I'm happy. You know, you're winning, you get paid, and you're on to the next one. You know, so winner stays on, doesn't it? So the Maxi Hughes train continues.
Eddie keeps saying the Maxi train, the Maxi Hughes train continues. I know obviously you're out of contract with Matchroom. I take you guys are kind of waiting patiently for what's next from Matchroom, and I know obviously they're probably going to be very keen because Eddie's keen to kind of get as many people on board this train as possible.
Yeah, you know, train's filling up nicely. You know, there's plenty of people, and they're all getting a bit impatient now.
It's left Leeds and it's pulled into a lot of stations around the country, and a lot of people are jumping on.
Yeah, you know, it's gaining some good momentum, but we're here to have a chat with Eddie. Eddie's told my manager for us to come along today and have a chat with him and find out what's next. I am out of contract, but you know, I believe there's one on the way, and you know, Eddie's still trying his best. He tried his best to get the Garcia again. He messaged me to let me know that he'd spoke to Golden Boy to let him know that we're available and we want that fight. Garcia mentioned he was wanting to fight in January. So again, we put our name in at Eddie. Eddie tried to get that, but it doesn't seem to have really gone anywhere. So that's why, you know, we need the plan B now. We need to know what the plan is next. I know he's mentioned there might be Sheffield early next year, in February, March, and that's what we're keen to find out a bit more about that.
In terms of the contract, obviously, loyalty is important, and if people provide for you like Matchroom have and kind of been with you among this resurgence, I know you'll be keen to kind of see and re-sign with Matchroom, but you've got to look after yourself, I guess. Was it always kind of tunnel vision for what Matchroom bring, or did you ever have kind of even little thoughts about if someone was to come in with an offer from elsewhere, is something you would consider, or is that loyalty kind of really important to you because you've kind of been on this journey together?
Like you say, boxing, it's one of them so unique sports where, you know, like, look what Dalton Smith's doing. He's run out of contract. He's shopping about and seeing that Ben Shalom showed a lot of interest in him, and you know there seems to be in talk. I think he's in talks with both. Again, nobody's approached me. Maybe they don't know I'm out of contract, but you know I like working with Matchroom. Excuse me. They've done a great job, and you know that's why I'm here. I'm obviously here to support Josh. But you know, as well for myself, I want to have a chat with Eddie and see what the plan is. Like obviously, I know Eddie wanted to get as big a fight as possible for me, but the bigger fights in division are all sort of taken up. You've got Tank fighting January, Garcia potentially fighting January, Loma v Haney looks like it's happening. So there's not many big names. So I think what me and manager Steffi want to go is have a look down the other routes, see what we can do. I'm in top 10 with the IBF, so I think maybe pursue that route, become try and get into a mandatory position, so that I do think that how Haney looks on scales, Loma will be the last time he makes maybe 135 because he's so big at such a young age. I think he might. Yeah, so he might be, and if I'm in a good position, I could be, at some point this year fighting for IBF world title, and that's a new goal of mine, is to win, one of the four big world titles. So that's what we want to talk to Eddie about today.
Well, that would be fantastic, of course. I've got to get your thoughts on Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. Of course, they got business to deal with before, especially Tank in a very tough fight. But should they meet, the boxing gods probably won't let us, mate. You know what they're like. There's going to be something in the way. But should they meet summertime, just before the summer, how do you think that fight plays out?
I fancy Tank for the win overall, but I think he'll have to come through some tricky spells. I think he could possibly be out. I think he'll stop Garcia, probably later on, maybe 6-12. But I think he could be behind on the scorecards, at the time that he does win. Obviously, Garcia is the bigger guy, seriously fast hands, keep him at long range. But I think eventually, as Tank showed, you make one mistake with him, as Santa Cruz did, as Rolly Romero did. He's got the power to just end it there and then, hasn't he? So I believe that he'll come through that.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.